Making an AI OnlyFans with computer science.
Tyson is most famous for saying that it's the curious people who change the world. However, what has often gone under the radar is another profound quote from him, which is, "I love AI-generated Asian girls."
Like, no cap, I think he would even be like a guy that would actually say that. Genuinely, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's a really very funny guy, man. I think he would actually say that. Probably also, what do you call it, like Stephen Hawking would probably also have said that.
Today we're going to be fulfilling this by making an AI-generated OnlyFans. We're going to be making an AI-generated model, girlfriend, idol, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, it's so hot, dude. Bruh, I cannot.
We're going to be making an AI-generated model, girlfriend, idol, whatever you want to call it, where you can input any text description and the AI will generate a picture of just that.
Exactly,
These are
man.
actually
You can
getting
make
really
AI
popular
Booba
on Twitter and other sites. There's
How
both
far we
girl
have
and
come.
guy versions of this, and yeah, they make a lot of money. But yeah, today we're going to be making it and also just explaining how all of it works. So let's head right in. So the core of making all of this work is something called stable diffusion. It's an algorithm that is able to turn text into generated images. We're gonna be going through all the explanation stuff later, but first let's just try out what stable diffusion can do. Here we have the vanilla stable diffusion code, and let's try it out. So we can pretty much generate anything. Like, what do you want to see? Let's try dog on the beach. Okay.
That's
Now
pretty
let's
good.
try
That's actually pretty
sculpture
good.
in
What the fuck?
France.
That's pretty good.
Alright, seems pretty good to me. And now let's try rocks in the ocean. And yeah, those are rocks in the ocean if I've ever seen them. But who cares? Let's make some money.
Exactly. Like, again, I feel like it's very, very cool, right? Like, that's very fucking cool, right? But, like, are we really gonna care about all this dumb shit? Are we really gonna care about rocks in the ocean? Are we really gonna care about all this dumb shit? Listen, what we really care about is fucking titties, man. Like, something to jack off to, man. You need... Don't know what the fuck that is.
Okay, so let's try this out right here. Hey, yo, what the hell is this? I mean, why does she have boogers coming out?
That's really bad. That's so fucking bad. Like, the skin complexion just looks like every single girl on fucking Instagram with like a filter. Like, what the fuck?
So this is obviously not gonna cut it, so let's try a prompt from online.
Bruh.
God damn. So this is not working right now because we're using the wrong data set. We're using a generic one right now, like one that's based on real life stuff, but we need a data set that's more trained for what we're trying to make.
Okay.
So let's use a model trained on a more fitting data set and try it again.
Bro. Bro, take my fucking money, dude. Take my money. Bruh. God damn. What the fuck? No shot, dude. No fucking shot. Isn't technology just great? Like, listen. When I was a wee lad, there was one thing I've always had an issue with. It's not enough thick ass fucking Asian women in my life. They fucking did it. You can literally do it with men as well. Like, if you go on Twitter, I've seen those like fucking like accounts where it's like people that have like a certain avatar, which of this like man that the person keeps like fucking making. So like you basically this person it's just it could be like a guy that's like fat and stuff like that, but he basically pretends to be like this hot guy online because he keeps making these AI. Everyone knows it's AI, right? But it's just kind of like a persona on that. No, real men, yeah, they're not gonna get that. I think you're on the wrong channel for that.
We can also try other stuff like outside in a winter coat, inside in the living room next to a fireplace, and lastly, anime beach episode. Okay, so it's not that bad right now, but I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the faces don't look that realistic. So the missing piece to fit right now, but I'm
like, it just looks like this. It like to Nega, if you just look like that, it looks really fucked, right? But if you look very, very, very fucking close, right, there is not a single imperfection in this on this face at all. You can also see like it also kind of looks like animated, kind of stuff like that. You can kind of see what like it's obviously gonna be fake. 95% of streamers know what 7TV extension is. I guess I'll be the 5%.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the faces don't look that realistic. So the missing piece to fix this is something called a LoRa. These are additional trained models, which we're gonna be covering how that works in a little bit, but they allow you to fine tune your image generation into a style. Like for example, here we have the model in an art style. But for our case, we're going to be using Laura's trained on AI generated faces, and the end result is that the face is a lot more realistic. But yeah, with all of this, I would say that we're at about 80%.
I want to, like, I've seen some hot women, like hot AI women on Reddit and on Twitter. I want to see, like, what's the peak you can reach on this point? Like, what is the peak you can actually get to of where it just looks insanely realistic and they're so fucking hot? I really want to know. And at what point can you make, like, animations with them? It needs to happen.
Percent of the AI girl image generation capabilities, and you don't believe me? Roll the intro.
And no shot, this wasn't just all invented because a bunch of, like, people are horny as fuck. That's why a lot of, like, animations and stuff that you see right now, they are all made due to Bioshock. Like, a lot of the technology that is for all those, like, Overwatch porn animations all come from, like, basically all come from, like, the fact, like, a lot of people a long time ago wanted to make animations of a girl in Bioshock. And that's why we have Overwatch porn animations now. True fact. And it's just a bunch of horny people, and they're furthering this shit every single day to fund their degeneracy. Or not to fund, right, but to fuel their degeneracy. Is this an ad? No, it is not. It's an AI generated ad. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Dude, what are you even watching right now? Anyways, now you need to learn. First, what even is machine learning exactly? Well, it's actually not that different than how a kid learns.
No clue what that
You ask them a
looks like.
question like, what is this? And they come up with an answer based on what their brain tells them is most likely. If they're right, we'll reward them, and if they're wrong, we'll punish them, and they'll improve for next time. But how does the brain or a computer even make a guess on what something is? Well, we can think of it like this. Let's say you're trying to tell the difference between a gold party balloon and a tree. So a kid or a computer can think, how green is it, to differentiate it. As we can see here, this is a one-dimensional space because there's only one axis, but we can tell the difference between the gold party balloon and the tree. But now let's make it a green balloon and a tree. Now we can't differentiate them based on our one axis, so we need another variable which can be roundness. Now we're up to 2 dimensions and we're pretty good because we can tell the difference between the two. But with more data, there could be a tree that's round and a balloon that's not. So in this case...
So this is essentially how it works, right? Is that it's basically like a massive circle of around where it has like either axis of where it's supposed to be, which means provides which kind of what or when what where. That's actually insane. And I don't watch Twitch.
Or the
like, I don't
machine
know what
learning
that
model
is.
will have to add another factor. Maybe, let's say, shininess, as balloons usually have a shiny spot and
That's true.
trees don't. Now, as we can see, we're at a 3-dimensional space, and with just these 3 dimensions, a kid and a computer can determine trees from balloons pretty well. But now let's say for differentiating a ton of different images and objects, we're gonna need more variables. When training an AI model, we're asking it a question and telling it if it's right or wrong. Each time, there's a ton of variables within the model that will be tweaked in order to help it improve on the task next time.
So I wonder, how long did it take? And how many tries did it take to make such hot girls? I really do wonder. How many tries can it really realistically take until you get something that you actually want? And how many times does it have to go through, and you have to click yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, until you reach the point? And what if like somebody just tells her like, hey, yeah, this is great, right? And all it shows is trees, but it's supposed to show hot anime girls. I really wonder like how long would that take?
And how it does this is with a process called gradient descent. Basically what it does is it uses a math equation called an objective function that will change the internal numbers in the right direction to make a more accurate guess next time. All these variables create a space that has way more than 3 dimensions, and the human brain can't even picture a space with this many dimensions. With this, a trained AI model can describe what's in any picture based on its previous training. And
I wonder if they also use Google though. No shot they don't use Google to kind of like figure out like what if people search, because that's a search engine. No way they didn't use Google to kind of like have a way of like figuring stuff out. because Google already has like a bunch of this data, so no shot that this is not like an like that they didn't use that. There's no shot.
And yeah, that's pretty much how.
Because you can write something on Google like Kim Jong-un with a hat, and then you'll find a bunch of pictures of Kim Jong-un with a hat, and then there's no way they didn't take kind of like stuff like that. There's no way. Well, the brain shouldn't spend hours watching stream, but I do enjoy lurking from time. True.
How machine learning works. But now we want to generate images, right? And all of this depends on something called stable diffusion. It's an algorithm that can turn a picture full of noise into an HD image of whatever you describe in text.
I've seen this before. We had that in Datamatica, or like informatic in informative class in high school. We had about this in like my last year. I sat in on a class and they were talking about this, like how they can basically make blurry shit into stuff because they just changed the color and stuff like that, and just put the stuff where it's supposed to be. It's very, very fucking interesting. I never really sat in because I basically fell asleep in that class, but it's a very fucking cool system. Very fucking cool.
So how can we do this? First, we have to train our model. Let's start with like an image of a dog. Then let's add a bit of random noise to it 10 times. So we have an image of a dog and we add some noise and then we add some noise until we end up with an image that just looks like pure static. Yeah. And now the big idea here is to train the AI to be able to remove all of this noise to get back to the image of the dog. So at each time step, we're gonna be asking our model to predict the noise added and then tell it if it was right or wrong with the correct noise. Each time, the model is going to train its multi-dimensional space as we talked about.
So it doesn't even need humans to do it. It can just do it itself by keep on retrying. And then they tried later. What?
Before.
What?
In order to get better,
I'm definitely
gonna
get 17.
And if you train it for long enough on a ton of images, it's going to get super good at guessing the noise added at each state. Okay, now this part is actually pretty cool. If the AI can guess the noise added at each state, then it can take out that noise in order to get back the original image. This is exactly what we're gonna do, and it's called sampling. Let's say the AI is trying to produce an image of the same dog that looks like this. We'll give the AI a completely noisy image and predict the noise of one time step. We're gonna subtract that noise from our image, and we're still gonna have a super noisy image, but it's a little bit less noisy, like maybe there's an outline of a dog now. It's also not going to be perfect because it's a prediction, so what the algorithm does is add back a little bit of noise and then feeds it back into our AI. We just keep doing this over and over again, and as you can imagine, each time more noise is being removed and added at each step.
So it'll, even if there's like something like, let's say like something very hard for it to learn, it'll just somehow figure it out. Holy shit, that's so sick. Man, AI is great.
So eventually it's gonna get closer and closer to the dog until it's the actual image of the dog. Okay, but right now the AI still doesn't know what kind of image to make. There's no guidance yet, so it's just gonna create random images, but that's what the text prompt is for, and this is something called tokenization. For the AI to turn text into an image, it's pretty much the same thing. We first train a model on an insane amount of data of pictures with text
and this is, as far as I know, this is where like a lot of people are having problems with it, because basically what it does is that it takes a lot of like these samples from a lot of different places, and then with some of these samples it takes are also copyrighted, right? Which means there's also copyright law involved in it, which is why Steam doesn't want like AI games and AI created art on Steam, because there are these like copyrighted issues with taking copyrighted stuff material, and this is then fucking with it, which is also kind of hampering the furtherment of this because of the copyright law, which again I am completely against copyright law.
Embeddings describing the photo. We would need terabytes of training data to do this ourselves, which we don't have, but luckily there's models online that do, and we can use them. One's called Clip, and it's the most famous one, and after all of the training on their dataset, it can turn text prompts like dog on the beach into some values in the multi-dimensional space that would accurately represent a dog on the beach to a computer. And then this information will guide our denoising to get the generated image. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Really, if you just want to remember one thing, is that we're going from text to images with denoising. Ah, God, what a grind. So right now, our AI model is pretty good, except each time we generate an image, the person looks slightly different. And this is not good because we want our idol to be a single person. So
exactly, that's where the whole thing comes in, right? Because like if your character looks different every single time, how are you realistically going to basically make an entire OnlyFans based on a hot girl? if it changes every single time.
How can we do this? Well, we're gonna have to train our own AI model. As we know, training is based on data, so we need photos of what we're trying to make the model look like. However, we want this to be an AI generated person, right? I feel like if we modeled it after a real person, that'd be just pretty weird.
Yeah, so again, we already see that stuff, like a lot of people were weirded the fuck out when like people had made like porn of Twitch streamers and stuff like that. A lot of people were weirded the fuck out about that, which again, I completely agree with. I would also feel real bad, like it just will suck if people just made like porn out of people and stuff like that. I'm so fucking against that shit, and without their consent even, and that's why I also feel like you shouldn't make this stuff out of people that don't want it. And let's say, yeah, I just wouldn't feel like right about it, doing it to other people or it being made of me without my consent.
What we're gonna have to do is use AI to create the AI model. We're gonna use our AI image generation that we have so far, and we're gonna generate 20 photos of people. These people are all gonna look a little bit different, but what we can do is choose 10 of the best looking ones and then train a model on only those 10 photos. Then we have a model or a LoRa based on these 10 photos, and we're gonna use this LoRa to generate another 20 images. The people in these 20 images are still gonna look a little bit different, and we're gonna handpick 10 of the best looking ones, make a LoRa out of that, and feed it back into our AI model. We're just gonna keep doing this, and each time, if you can imagine, the people that are generated are gonna look more and more similar each time until it converges.
And also you basically reach like the hottest fucking girl ever. Like, because you're combining the hottest girls and the hottest girls and the hottest girls and the hottest girls until you reach like the fucking mega hottest girl ever. This is smart.
To just looking like the same
They're making
single
millions of
person.
100%.
This is kind of like when people make pasta, they have the dough and they keep feeding it through the pasta maker thing, and they keep repeating this until the dough is ready to be made as pasta. Okay, so after all of this, our AI now is able to generate the same person in every photo and is now ready for the internet. Don't believe me? Take a look.
That's crazy. What? How is any person supposed to compete with that? There's no way. We are truly reaching a dystopian future where no man is going to be attracted to real women. There's no shot. Next generation after me, bro. No shot they're going to be attracted to anything else. Holy shit, man. How? Imagine you go on Instagram, right? There's massive issues with Instagram and like women's mental health and stuff like that. And you just see this person and you think this person is real. And then you suddenly get like, you want to look like this person. You go to the gym. You fix yourself. You get fucking surgery, right? You try everything. And then somebody tells you, oh, that's an AI, bro. It's not real, right? But you're never gonna fucking be able to like reach that point. No shot you're ever gonna be able to reach that point. It's like, it's too perfect. You can even get like different hair colors. No shot. Like you can slightly see that it's like not an actual person, right? Like this one does look kind of like, I don't know, like the hair looks kind of fake here. Kind of here as well. Even though there's little strains, right? Like you can kind of see it. Especially this one. This one looks fake as fuck. 100%. This one, like the hair looks nothing like the real hair. Like this stuff here. Comrades, do not fail to the temptation of AI, bruh. Goddamn, bro. Goddamn.
Okay, so first let's make a Twitter, and for all of this information, we can just ask ChatGPT. And for the OnlyFans, I actually have some bad news. You need to be human verified, and I submitted my passport for it, and it just didn't get approved, so we're just gonna have to go with Twitter. I know OnlyFans is in the title and everything, but within the first 15
So it has been such a massive, because I heard about like people like going on OnlyFans like with the AI stuff. So they actually removed this since I heard about it. They actually removed it. Because as far as I understood, there were some people that made AI like accounts and stuff like that. And then they made like a bunch of money. And then people were mad at the fact like a bunch of AIs were making money. And then OnlyFans shut it down. It's great, man. I love this world right now.
minutes, we got 1 comment already. John says, "You are so blessed and beautiful." Thank you, John. For the already. John says, "You are
J Fadic the real." Bruh. My brother in Christ. We need to stay focused. We need to stay focused.
So blessed and beautiful.
And just like imagine if John Faddick is like some guy that like owns a company or like something like that, and then like he just gets exposed here for being a fucking simp online, bro.
John. For the next couple of days and weeks, I'm not gonna lie, there was very little traction, so I had to try something like online advertising. And now we're up to 300 followers on Twitter. Most of them just say that you are so beautiful, which is not that surprising. There's a few that are asking to offer some kind of money. There's also this one guy that commented the most simp stuff ever, and he actually follows me. Eric, my man, DM me.
Exposed, bro. No way. So somebody that follows him, the real him, also follows the fucking account that like he just made, bro. Brothers, we must stay focused.
You do not have to be doing this. There's also a couple comments asking to meet. Like there's this one comment that says, "Are you in New York City? Can we meet up? You are so pretty." Oh shit, that was me.
I do wonder, right, like how many times one of those comments actually fucking worked. Because I would assume it has like a 0.000000001% success rate. I would say that. Do not fail to simping. Well, simping is also a form of degeneracy to some point, some sort of point, right? And shit like that. So I think going on Twitter and expecting people not to simp is kind of fucked. It's kind of, you know, like that's where you do it, right? On Instagram, of course. But it's just kind of fucked up, right? That all these fucking degenerates are just collected on one fucking platform, and like 2 platforms, I guess, and are just sitting here, and then you can just farm simps this way.
I got tricked one day by my own Onlyfans. After all of this, our account is still growing, but I would say it's getting a little bit out of control. I'm gonna have to level with you guys here. I simply cannot let my biggest coding achievement be making an AI Onlyfans. So I don't wanna get too deep into this, even though I counted and I spent like 300 hours on this. But anyways, I don't wanna get too deep into it. So like Picasso setting down his paintbrush for the last time, I'm shutting this down. And here's the last photo of our AI model.
Bruh.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna leave all of the code and instructions on how to use the code in the description. You guys can check that out and hopefully learn some CS in the process. Some updates from my life. I finally moved into New York City. It's pretty good. I've been grinding YouTube pretty much every night after work.
By the way, I'm gonna just save this video to watch later. No reason why.
Even though it may not seem like it, but I am. We also got a ton of new subscribers, so that's really cool.
So that's just the end of the video.
Got you guys later.
Okay, shit, man. This was fucking great. This was great, man. People will use that code all 100%. But like, imagine you can basically make like an infinite money glitch, right? Which is basically doing this, and you expect people not to use it. Like, you could literally just go on Twitter and then have and then reach the point where you can like people can pay, like for your Twitter and stuff like that. And just imagine that, right? Like, I would even say like maybe this might be like the truest peak that we humans have probably ever gonna fucking reach, man. Like, how is a woman supposed to keep up? But that what the fuck? I don't think I've ever seen a person as beautiful as that in my entire life. God damn. And I just can't wait until like somebody makes an AI. He makes the same video but the man version. Can't wait. We're gonna watch that. If it ever does a man version, definitely gonna watch that as well.